I am your host, Dayspring.
And I am the Askani'son.
But more importantly, I am Dax Exclamationpoint.
And Martini and we're here to talk about X shit.
Yeah, we're gonna do what we want to. Talk about X-Men. Dragon.
Folks, you are in for a riot for today's episode because we're going to be talking about the top 5 worst X-Men ever, and it's going to be more savage than an Olive Garden on a Friday night in the Savage Land. And to help us with this savage conversation, we have returning guest host, Askani'son.
Hey, happy Gene Resurrection Day. Sorry, wrong day. Happy Easter, everybody.
Does. And folks, we have the Mariah Carey and Madonna of X-Men fandom. I don't know. Literally, we have 2 Marvel divas that make Emma Frost look like a Maximista. We have, for the first time ever on the Power of X-Men podcast, Dax Exclamationpoint.
Woo!
Hi.
Hey.
I'm literally obsessed with your storm look right now.
Oh, thank y'all. Thank y'all.
And returning is Power of X-Men royalty. I wish I could give her a red carpet every time she comes on the show. We have Amanda Martini.
Hey.
I mean, how many times is this 4?
I don't know. There was one time where my laptop broke.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Trust me, she's got the red carpet already.
How dare you?
I don't know. You don't know.
Oh my God.
I mean,
does
you
the
don't know
carpet
him.
match
You don't
the
know.
drapes? Is that what we're...
It's all for Micah. It's fine. It's fine.
So
hardwood floor.
hardwood floors.
Parquet for days.
So, listeners, you may or may not know that Amanda and Dax are like BFFs, and they have such wonderful chemistry. But I'm curious, how did this unholy friendship begin?
Well, Amanda tells the story best, so I'll let her go and take that right away. Because honestly, I don't fully remember for reasons.
Dax may or may not fully remember most of these stories. So a few years ago, God, it's been a few years now.
3 or 4? Has it been 4?
Yes, maybe 4. Anyway,
it's been some time. It's been time.
It's been a while. I entered a competition called Captain Green Lantern with an organization, and Dax was one of the judges. And so at one point while we were getting ready, Dax literally came into the dressing room. I mean, and by dressing room, I mean like
the public bathroom.
Yeah, that we just like took over.
Yeah, because drag queens.
Yeah, well, because drag queens and also like gay bars that are not at all designed for drag or competitions.
So all of the gay bars, basically. They think they are.
And does anybody have wig glue? Does anyone have weave bond? Does anybody have anything? And I'm like, I have eyelash glue. That'll do! And she needed to glue down the front of her hair. I mean, she would never. Her hair is real.
It's yeah. I mean, I grew up myself. It took forever. I condition nonstop. Like seriously, just buckets of it.
And so I won that competition. With, Dax just yelling at the other 2 judges, going, "No, the drag queen, the drag queen."
Look. Oh, that's much better. Look at this. Just like I just lit up. Okay, yeah. The sun, the clouds have cleared. Yeah, I mean, basically what happens when you give me an open bar is that I'll just take over the room, and that's what happened. They start yelling and just like commanding things to happen. And then people win stuff. So that's helpful.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. And so with that, I got to go to conventions with the organization LGBTHQ, and the first one that I got to go to was like a Memorial Day weekend, I think. So then the first con was BlurredCon, which is in July, which is one of my favorite conventions. Mm-hmm. And the first day, I was just like, I got upstairs to change into like my walk around look, so I didn't want to wear the Captain Green Lantern dress that I had made. It had this huge train and these big tall heels and a mask, and it was very like cumbersome to like get around in.
Dracula collar, updo, a crown. It was a lot. It was a lot going on.
Oh, I can envision it.
A light up gauntlet.
Yeah.
Because of fashion.
Stop. Oh my god, you would look so fierce with that.
It was a lot of luck. It was
It's
it
the
was-
Hellfire
it was.
Gala.
Oh, it's a Hellfire
before the
Gala.
Yeah.
But my favorite is that so at the competition it was like just do a casual Green Lantern look. I'm like, this is super casual with this train and
This Dracula collar, this headpiece, and the mask, the lights.
yeah, it was a
And
lot.
then of course, everyone else in the contest was in like a jock strap and a body harness, or like a baseball cap and a crop top. And I'm like, so clearly it's the drag queen, right? Like we're all seeing, like, because she came here to do drag today. These kids, they just woke up. Like I can't.
So I went upstairs to change. When I came back down, Dax, I think, had finished whatever commitment or whatever you were doing. So you just came back to the booth and we're hanging out. And so like the con floor is closing, but as I was kind of talking about before we started recording, is that BlurredCon is just a 24-hour convention. It goes on all night. It's a big party. So like when you're done like having booths open, it's just like everybody just free for all. So Dax really looked at me and she was like, so where are we drinking?
I think it was Catwoman at that point. I think it was
you were Catwoman.
Because we did that like late panel is what happened. It was like a super late panel, which I think is great for cons because the convention might begin on like a Friday, but it really begins on that Thursday before.
Yeah.
So you've got to make an appearance and you've got to make the rounds. So if I don't even have to be anywhere on Friday until like 8 p.m., I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
I got things to do.
So we like went across the street to like the restaurant that was across the street, got something to drink. We sent these two twinks that were hanging out with us to go get vodka from the liquor store down the street because we were ladies. We couldn't walk that far.
Our feet hurt. They hurt so bad.
And I'm sure those twinks were so happy to do that for you.
They were. We made their lives. Yes.
And so then we went back up to like my room and like we all drank and had a good time. And so then we went back down for Dax's panel. And then the reason I'm telling this whole story is because the best part is coming out. So after Dax's panel, we like hung out and we like went to like the dance party and like all this stuff. But we ended back up in my room, the four of us, laughing, drinking, blah, blah, blah.
Being terrible mostly.
Yeah. And I was like,
you two and the twinks.
Yeah.
The best time.
And I was just like, okay. I was like, well, I need to get out of drag because I need to paint, because I was doing Scatterbrain from the Technit the next day. So I needed to like, I need to get out of this because I'm gonna have to wake up at 7 a.m. and like paint myself yellow. So I went into the bathroom and got out of drag. And when I came out, Dax looked me dead in the face. And again, I've met her twice.
Yeah.
Walked out of the bathroom and she looked at me and she said, Amanda, you went into the bathroom a beautiful woman and came out a thumb. And I fell to the ground laughing so hard. I don't know if I've ever laughed that hard in my life. It was so funny.
Look, if you can't read your friends, who can you read? I just want to know.
And like literally, and then from that, it was just like hang out. So then like the next day at the convention, again, I'm sure Dax had other stuff too, but I really didn't see you all day.
Yeah.
And then I was at the booth most of the day, and then I was doing the pageant or masquerade or whatever, like the cosplay.
Oh, the costume contest. Didn't you enter that?
I did.
Yes,
so I went to do that, and when I came out, you looked at me and you're like, hey, so what are we doing? And I was like, I need out of here. I made a rookie mistake. And so when I first did Scatterbrain a few years before, I hand dyed the tights to do that red
like a
yellow
kind of
ombre.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought these yellow pumps that matched perfectly.
Which are super cute.
Yeah, they're super cute.
So cute.
And I because before that I was just kind of like a Halloween, every so often kind of party queen. Like I wasn't like doing drag all the time, and I definitely wasn't spending 18 hours at a convention in heels. So I all day I was scatterbrained, and these heels, again, beautiful. I love them. They're 5.5 inches and skinny and
super pointy.
Oh
yeah.
My feet were so. After that whole convention, I literally did not feel my toes for 2 months.
Yeah.
Where are the shoes from?
At Amazon,
China.
yeah,
Where they're from?
Yeah,
they're
My neighbors.
You're gonna say Louboutin.
yellow pump.
No,
But-
they are not those. No, they're just our basic go-to drag plastic pumps for the after party. Like they are like, I mean, every queen has like 5 pairs. They're cheap. come in all the colors and they come in your size.
Yep.
All you need.
And then the next day I brought my comfy boots and did Outback Dazzler, and Dax and I walked around the con. We like did a little bit of shopping because I'd also never been to like a big convention like that. Even though BlurCon is still relatively little, the only other convention I'd been to was like my local one here in Southern Maryland, which is like, But
that was their, I think their first or second year, right?
It was either their second or third.
I think it was their. I feel like it was their second because we didn't. Did we go the next year? Yeah, we went the following year, didn't we? Or did we not?
Because the following year was when you were moving, and I did that.
You're right.
In the woods, which was
yeah. But either way, we will be at BlurCon this year.
Yeah,
BlurCon will be July it's 16th through 19th. It'll be in Arlington, Virginia,
and it's $60 for the entire weekend, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Askani'son and I are there.
The cost is super low, but the con is huge. I mean, again, it's 24 hours. There's shows, there's parties, there's vending and booze and panels and nerd stuff. So we'll be there.
Wait. I need to know a little element of the story that you have blown over. What happened to the Twinks?
Oh yeah. No idea. Where do Twinks go at night? I don't know.
Did you nothingness?
No. Did
you? No. So like they were just friends. I mean, one of them that we don't really talk to anymore, and the other is the son of the. His name's Tim. His mom is Sharon from Farpoint, another one of my favorite conventions.
Oh wow!
I know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Tim helps run Farpoint with Sharon. And Tim is lovely and very fun. And he literally still, every time I see him at Farpoint, he brings up that night every time.
Oh.
Yes. Demanda is really good at remembering names, spreadsheets, being on time for stuff, being super friendly. I'm really good at having big hair.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, it just kind of like, so then I think the next convention after that, the next convention I did after that was New York Comic Con, which you didn't go to.
No, yeah, because it was too much.
But then by that point, we had already we'd been doing like, we started talking over like Facebook or whatever, and like, and then like the next convention was CatsuCon, where we shared a hotel room, and then it's been
every con ever since. Yeah, pretty much
spreadsheets and.
She likes to plan.
She's a planner.
She's the planner.
Bring some eyelashes and some booze, and
we're good to go. We're good to go. We learned that we need to have 2-room suites at all times because that way I can be a giant mess and Amanda can be like organized. they never touch.
and then the common space is where we keep all of our hair because it's too big to stay anywhere else.
Kitchenette, that's where you keep it.
So literally, so the last time we went to CatsuCon, we had a 2-bedroom suite, and it was very much that. So the kitchenette, literally, I think was 5 to 7 wigs.
Oh yeah, all of yours and all of mine on heads, just like all lined up across everything, like on top of the fridge, on the counter, like on the stove. Like it's fine.
And that's his boyfriend was like, I just want to make some ramen. Can I move this wig?
You're like, no.
Wait, don't do anything.
No. Like, wait, which hair is it? Can that one move? Is also covered in hairspray and could literally light a flame.
Yeah, because like if it's been worn already, just toss it wherever, it's fine.
Yeah.
But if it hasn't been worn yet, do not touch it. Don't look at it. Don't breathe too hard around it because she needs to go somewhere.
Exactly. So she needs to go somewhere tomorrow or the next day.
Mm-hmm. You should have like a total Moira moment where you have like those like safe like wall tack things, just hang your wigs along the wall, and then
we have those.
That's my wig wall that just lives in my drag room. Yeah. I mean, how could we make that a traveling thing?
We'd have to get those like grid walls for booths and just like break those and set them up and then hang like hooks on them. No, I thought about it. It could be done. It would just be cumbersome and annoying. And between the two of us with our luggage, who wants to carry that shit?
Yeah, and also
me.
And then where would Les sleep?
Wait,
does she even sleep? Like she's kind of like naps in the bathtub and she's good to go. Like she's fine. Like
wait, who are you talking about?
So our third friend, Mr. From Charlotte, North Carolina, she sometimes joins us at conventions, and so she usually like sleeps like in the common room, or like she and I have shared a bed before or whatever. But yeah, she usually like comes for like a day and a half, and then she's like, I got other stuff to do.
Yeah, because I mean, like she's pretty low maintenance, which is amazing for a drag queen. It's shocking. But like she'll take a floor, she'll take a cot, like a pile of old clothes. She's good to go. Like she's fine. But like so we're talking about BlurCon.
She will ruin the bathroom though.
You what?
She will ruin the bathroom with glitter.
She will ruin a bathroom with glitter. That is a thing she does. She gets like carried away, I guess, and just like starts throwing it around, and it's just like, well, hope they don't charge for that.
Like the best part was that so after she would get ready and you'd need to like go to the bathroom, you would just put a towel over the glitter, and instead of like cleaning it up, it was just new towel over the glitter.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Holds everything in place.
Stack of towels full of glitter.
Girl, take off that do not disturb sign and let like housekeeping come in.
At a convention, never.
No.
Really? Is that a no-no?
That's a no-no.
Well, there's too many things. I don't because if they move stuff, then
it's lost.
Yeah, then it's lost.
And also, I don't want like strangers touching my shit when I'm not there.
Right.
Not that they're gonna steal anything or like whatever like that, but just like even though it might be a pile on the floor, it's a very well organized pile. You know what all these things are?
Yeah. If you know where it is, then you know where it is. You don't want anybody, you know.
So also, Dax is a person who explodes into a room. Earrings, bracelets, wigs, eyelashes go everywhere. So like on the last day of being in the hotel, it's like cleaning under stuff to like find.
Make sure you didn't lose your jewelry.
And stuff. So it's like I don't want the cleaning crew to come in and like vacuum up an earring back.
Yeah.
That we might
also that happened to me one time. The cleaning people came into a hotel room one time when I did a commission in North Carolina, and the next day my Marvel Girl mask was just gone. I don't know if they took it or if I got like stuck under a couch or something, because I already worn it, and then I remember putting it on a shelf that was in the hotel room, and then when I was packing up, I was like, "Where's my?"
I mean,
you're like, look at this little piece of construction paper. Let's just throw it out.
No, first of all, it was not construction paper. Mama uses foam like a big girl.
No, it could have been like it was close enough to like a trash can that they just thought it was trash because when people don't know, they don't know.
Exactly, and I mean, like I don't know. I just
I don't know. Still, though,
it's a mystery. It's a mystery.
Yeah, still, if it's not yours, don't touch it. And
that's. I'm sorry. That's.
It's okay.
We are huge Gene stands here, so
I made a new one. It's fine. It's
okay.
Fine.
Okay. This is a horrifying conversation for me and Scotty.
Yeah, it's Gene sacrilege right there.
Yeah, do not touch her fucking mask. But Scotty, I'm going to kick it to you for our next question.
So, tell me something about what is it that the both of you admire about one another? Be real.
I mean, to be honest, like Demanda is a very like together, organized person. She's the kind of person who can like she might be having a mental breakdown, but you'll never fucking know it. Whereas I'm like, everyone stop and look at me right now. Like that's how I roll. Like I'm like, I am mentally ill. You didn't know about it. Like Demanda's like, everything's fine. I'm good. Who wants a cupcake? Like, and I'm like, we're all crying in the corner. Like,
she's full lost.
Yeah. That I think is amazing because like we think alike, but also differently. You know, so like the places where like I either like I'm just not that good at stuff, she's better at it than I am. So I think it kind of balances out.
And so I was gonna say, and so the opposite side of that is so Dax is really good at being like extra meticulous when it comes to like our looks. It's obviously especially hers, but like I mean there's tons of people that I could go to like make something for me, commission, whatever. But I'm like, I'm getting like my first foam stuff. I'm going to Dax because I know how meticulous she is about like making her stuff and making sure that it fits and making sure that it's pretty. And she'll put glitter on it to make it extra pretty.
Lots of glitter. I love using glitter. Yeah.
But
I don't know if you can see, but there's glitter. There's plenty of glitter in this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, I definitely see it with your eye makeup.
Blue and black.
Yeah.
And I want to say gold as well.
Oh my god. Yeah, and on your tiara.
But Dax is so talented. Like so talented.
Oh, we can see that.
I actually miss getting ready with her just because it is such a. I mean, for drag queens, and especially, it's fun to get ready with other queens because we all have our own different processes.
Exactly, and it's kind of fun to see the difference between those methods, and what like how someone gets from point A to point B. Because I mean, like we're essentially doing all the same things, but in different order. Yeah, so it's just kind of nice to see. Like, it's kind of like, you know, I mean, I'm an artist, and like when I draw stuff, it's like it's kind of nice to draw with someone else because I can see how they would handle an image that they're making or project they're doing or whatever. It's just kind of nice to have someone to kind of bounce off of, and also it's hilarious. Just drag queens in a room together, painting their faces, just always funny. If you're in a rush, don't do it. But if you're not in a rush,
because it's distracting.
Wait, have you drawn Demanda?
I have not ever actually.
No. And also
it's on the list.
No. I mean, so we learned kind of the hard way that I don't know how well I'm gonna be about someone else painting my face.
True.
Okay, that makes sense because you're a spreadsheet queen. That's why.
Yes.
But also, so Dax was over here the other weekend and helped and did the prosthetic for my Denise pig from the Muppets look. You guys should go look at my social medias to look at that. It's seriously iconic. One of the stupidest looks.
It's so good. It had to be done.
But like because Dax was using like my stuff, she started using brushes that I'm like, because again I'm super anal retentive. Like I was like, no, that brush can't be used for that. Ah!
Yeah. Whereas I'm like, if it's a tool that I can use for a purpose, I'm gonna use it. Like I often will take a heat gun to my wigs. Like it's not unheard of for me. Or like my brushes. It's like, look, if it's gonna fit in that area, it's gonna go in that area. Like, and it's like, no, light colors only. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? It's a brush. Like it doesn't know any better.
It's just because that's like my process, and it was like honestly, that was like the first time someone else
has ever touched your face.
Has like done. I mean, I get queens a lot, and I don't know if it's a read, probably, but a lot of queens be like, "Oh, Demanda, I'd love to paint your face because you have such like this big," and I'm like, "Okay, that's fun."
No, I mean, like honestly, if it's like a queen who's actually a makeup artist and not like just some like random bar girl, who thinks that they're special when they've been doing that for like 6 months, maybe. No, usually, I mean, in my experience at least, like when I tell someone like that I want to paint their face, like I want to paint your face because it's a different face than mine. That's the full on like your face is shaped differently than mine, your eyes are different than mine. I just want to see what like my technique on your skull would look like. That's literally it. I mean, but like there are definitely some girls there who will like see someone and be like, I'm gonna paint your face, but probably not, because honestly, for a drag queen, like painting someone else's face is like, unless you're paying me money, I'm not fucking doing it. Like, it's just never gonna happen. Like,
I mean, even trying to do like a different face on my face. Like, for example, last year I was a part of an online drawing competition, Mixed Quarantine, and we had to paint another person's face on our face. And I got the drag king, and like painting those different shapes on your face, it's so hard because you're just so used to. I'm like, because I shave off my eyebrows, I don't have time to glue them down. There's no.
I've had eyebrows in like 10 years, maybe more.
I haven't had eyebrows in like a solid like 4 to 5 years.
Yeah, wow. I don't remember my eyebrows. I don't remember what my eyebrows looked like at all to begin with. Like I have no clue. I just like see them beginning, and I'm like, no, I'm a cat. Because cats don't have eyebrows. So.
But like I'm so used to putting my eyebrows where they are currently. Yeah. And so like trying to put them like where my eyebrows are is so weird. It feels so uncomfortable.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, like, I mean, it is kind of a fun challenge to, like, try to paint other shapes on your face, but also it's, like, it just feels wrong.
Yeah.
It just feels wrong. I mean, like, I'd rather do someone else's makeup than, like, do someone else's makeup on my face, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like,
what's the hardest shape to paint on your face? Is it just subjective, or is there, like, ever... I'm naturally curious.
Well, I mean, it kind of varies. It's more I'm more referring to, like, I mean, generally, like with drag makeup especially, you're using your own bone structure to kind of give you those guidelines. So if you're painting on like someone else's bone structure onto your face, you have to think about how their bones work and not how your bones work. So those guidelines are kind of all over the shop. I mean, like people that, do like impersonations or recreations and those kind of things. I mean, they're amazing because, I mean, like raising and lowering your features with makeup on alone is pretty difficult. And also, being able to like figure out really how to trick the eye to like, even though you're painting really heavy, to make it look like you're not painting heavy, to give someone else's bone structure onto your face is pretty difficult. Like I don't do like any kind of like impersonations or whatever because it's fucking hard. So that's that.
So we're giving props to Chad Michaels.
Pretty much. No, Chad's amazing. I've seen her do her makeup in the back of her own car before. Like at DragCon one year, she showed up as Harley Quinn. And then I didn't see her for a while. Then I was like, having a cigarette, and then she like rolls out of the back of her PT Cruiser as the Mad Hatter, and I was like, like putting her makeup away, and like she just did it. Like she just went to her car and like changed characters, genders, color palettes, like all of it, like in the backseat, because she didn't want to take a space in the VIP room because she was annoyed with all the people that were in there. So yeah, she's amazing. Like I think Chad is a phenomenal performer and a phenomenal artist, like just in general. Like I'm a huge fan of Chad Michaels.
I love that. Wait, so I think you guys both answered the question, what you guys admire most about each other. Amanda, did you?
Sure.
Yeah. I think there was an answer somewhere in there.
It was.
There were words.
There were words. There were adorable words in there. So what's one look you would snatch from each other, if you could?
Like a cosplay?
Yeah, like a cosplay.
Her Outback Rogue.
Okay.
Because I love that look. And I mean, we both have rogue costumes, obviously, but like I feel like because Amanda's done that rogue look specifically, I can't do that one specifically. Does that make sense? It's like, even though I could, I'm not gonna.
Yeah. And for me, it's Marvel Girl Jean, because Dax already does that, or honestly, or Emma Frost. Like and so like Dax does like lingerie, Hellfire Club. Emma. So I'm like, well, if I do Emma, I have to do a different Emma. I can't do that one because Dax already does that one.
Yeah,
it's our own weird, like, we can't do it because the other one's done it. Not that there's rules.
There's not. I mean, but also, I mean, like, I feel like that was like a lot of cosplayers. Like, if I see a cosplayer who does a look that I have on my list that does it really, really well, I'm like, well, it's been done now. There's no point in thinking about it anymore because it's already been done. Like, you know, we've already
already burned the look. Like,
yeah. I feel like if it's done well, then I'm just like, why am I here? Like,
which is also why I love Z-listers, because no one else.
No one does them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What were you asking, Scotty?
So I was gonna say, so do you just not repeat the look then if it's already done, you know, well enough? You think by somebody else?
If it's done well,
yeah.
If it's like, well, that is amazing and spot on, and I would change nothing about it, then I usually won't even think about it again. Honestly.
Is there a look that someone has burned for you guys that you're just like, that's so perfect, like I'm not even gonna try to touch it?
I don't know. I mean, like,
I'm sorry.
No, I mean,
sorry. She's had like 3 vodka sodas, so she's asking the Oprah questions now.
That is fine.
There's a cosplayer named DJ Spider who is a delight and lovely. So she and I have very similar tastes when it comes to like Z-listers, looks that aren't done. So like for me, and you know, to kind of go along with Dax, like she also has like a lot of more DC characters. Obviously, like my wheelhouse is the X-Men, but I do feel the need to like branch out a little bit more. But like she did like Looker from The Outsiders, where it's like, I mean, like Google it, pull up a picture, whatever. It is the stupidest look, and I'm like, I need to have that on my body. Like it's so dumb, but Suzanne did it so perfectly that I'm like, I don't know if I would want to do it just because like she already exists in the world. Like she's already there and it's fantastic.
Yeah, because I mean you have characters like Jean and Emma and Storm who a multitude of people do already, and they do well. I mean, you guys do them so well. But yeah, I guess there are specific characters that are a little bit more obscure that you're like, oh, someone already burned that. So, you know, why even bother touching it?
Well, I think with who you just said, you know, you got Jean, Emma, and Storm. I think they've had so many incarnations, you know, throughout the years. So therefore, I mean, you have, I think, a multitude, you know, of just different looks and different genres. And then you can say, like, you know, if you were doing another Jean look, say her final X Factor outfit, you can always kind of modify it, change it up a little bit to really make it, you know, stand out more than how we saw it interpreted in the comics. So,
yeah. I mean, because one of my goals with cosplay has always been to have all of Storm's outfits and all of Catwoman's outfits. This is what I want, just a closet that's just all Storm over here and all Catwoman over here. That's all I want in my life. I've made some progress, but I'm not anywhere near close to being done yet. So
Dax, I gotta say, I'm sorry.
No, go, Scotty.
Sorry. I saw your cosplay of Hellcat, and oh my god, that was just perfection.
Thank you.
It really was.
I loved Hellcat, and then the Jessica Jones TV show came out, and Patsy was involved, but she wasn't really Patsy, so I was a little mad about that. And
Until
it
the final season when she was Dark Patsy.
Which was kind of Patsy, but still not really Patsy. So yeah, we had to do that. And Demand, of course, loving a dumb mask. So our whole trend was just yellow.
No, well, you guys were the Marvel Divas.
Yeah, Marvel with a dumb or yellow's bodysuit with a dumb face mask.
Stupid yellow bodysuits. Oh my god. We both were wearing 2 bodysuits because yellow is a very transparent color. And drag queens wear structure garments. So got to cover your edges. You just got to do it. So yeah, we were both miserable.
Amanda, when we first talked to you, you sent us that photo when we were like going to promo the show, and I just thought that was the best Firestar and Hellcat outfit I have ever seen. You guys nailed it, and we love Patsy Walker. I mean, Askani'son is literally draws her for his holiday card.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But so speaking of Jean's final X Factor look, that one is definitely on my list. The blue one with the yellow shoulder pad.
Yes. And I'm making the mask for Demanda. Not the final X Factor, but the other one with the blue and the yellow with the
her
X Factor.
Yeah. Well, no, that's
training suit.
Yeah. That was her training suit look where she wore the blue
Marvel Girl mask
of the Marvel Girl.
Oh yeah, that's like with the kind of like mid-60s type of. Okay.
Yeah, I definitely want that look too.
Yeah, and they did like the Lost Years as well with that look.
Yeah, they did. Dax, I have a question for you.
Okay.
What was it like to be on RuPaul's Drag Race?
It was like prison, but in heels. Wouldn't recommend.
Because I heard that you guys are really just kind of like, kind of in like a tightly sealed box pretty much. Yeah. I mean, they don't tell you what time it is. There's no clocks on the wall. Early call times, late shooting nights, no outside communication with whatsoever. You go to your hotel room, you're locked in. It was. You literally cannot go out at all.
No, I mean, because I smoke, which I'm not saying smoking is cool or whatever, but it is glamorous. So deal with that.
Miss Selena Kyle here and her ciggies.
There are like the PAs who would who also smoke or whatever, and they would want to get outside. So they would they know that you're on that list. They would come to your room and take you out a little bit more than girls who didn't need to go outside often.
Mm-hmm.
But then other girls who either get their nails done on a regular basis, or who need to go to a gym every day, that kind of thing. Then people would take them specifically on these little trips here and there, but then ferry them right back in. So I mean, they'll obviously make exceptions for things that need to be done, but for the most part, it's just you by yourself and whatever's on the hotel TV. And
really, I didn't know it was that tight.
I mean, you don't see anybody. If you're working on a group project, for example, if it's a group dance number or whatever, they'll allow you time at the hotel to all get together with your group and work on your choreography, but only an hour here and there, and then back to your separate rooms. And then you don't see anybody until you're on the bus the next day going back to the studio. But even then, you can't speak until you're on camera. That's the rule. So you might want to be like, "Hey, good morning, girl." They will shush you until you are on the set in front of a camera, and then you can go.
Well, I'm in the Air Force, and I've gone through basic training, all that, and damn, that seems more strict than what I've had to go through.
I mean, I hate being told what to do. So for me, it was very this is not okay for me. Also, as a depressed lady, I might have lied on my psych evaluation just a little bit.
Look, I cheated on my ASVAB to pass the math portion.
When you grow up with mental illness, you learn real quick, real young, how to completely just lie to therapists. It's not hard. It's super easy. So it just kind of becomes second nature. You're I'm fine. Everything's fine. You're the one with the problem. I don't know what you're talking about. And also it was a time when I really wanted to be on the show. I just that was my end all be all goal. At that time, because it had been a goal of mine for so long, because I was I'm going to do whatever it takes to get on the show. Mm-hmm. And then I got there and I was this is terrible. This is the worst. I went into it pretty naively, knowing, and after I've watched the show since season 1, I still had this idea in my head that it was going to be this kind of camaraderie, group of artists working together on their art. And they're just making it into a bitchy cat fight. It's not really happening that way. And it wasn't a bitchy cat fight. I mean, all the cat fights that, did happen were instigated by people off camera saying, hey, so-and-so said this, go talk about it. Or while you're painting, discuss childhood trauma with so-and-so, or that kind of thing. So like nothing you're seeing is real, first of all. But it's like I never really had like a drag. Well, I had a drag mother, but it wasn't like a pageanty kind of drag mother. My drag mother was the bar manager of one of the first clubs I worked at, and she was an ex-club kid, and danced on boxes and just did performances whatever. And so she kind of took me under her wing and kind of like showed me the ropes of certain things. But I never had like that like drag family.
Right.
I've had plenty of drag friends and people that I'm really close with. But before Drag Race, I never had like a legit drag family. So I was thinking, we're gonna all like get along and talk about art, and like it's gonna be like art school, but not art school. And it's gonna be on TV. We're gonna get famous. It's gonna be amazing. And then it wasn't. So I was a little thrown off by that.
I'm trying to remember who was the winner of season 8. Was it Bob?
It was Bob, yes.
It was Bob. How was Bob? Like, did you guys all?
I was only there for 2 weeks, girl. I don't know.
Do they send you home Bob, once you're done? Like when you're really done, do you get on an airplane?
They hold you until you're scheduled cutaway interview day. So everyone's scheduled for interviews on like the Friday of every week. So they'll hold you until you can go in on Fridays and do your interviews, and everyone has their own interview times. And so like you're still pretty separate. Like you go into your little room with your person and you do your like cutaway interviews and act like, and I was serving this and I was serving that, and they're like, no, do it again, but say more this way. And they're like, but I was doing this and I was doing that. And like, no, do it again, say it this way. Wow. And they kind of like goad you through what to say. Because I mean, like my issue was that like my story producer really wanted me to be like Laganja Estrada. Like she wanted me to be like, oh girl, I got here and I'm gonna win this whole thing, man. And I'm like, I don't fucking talk like that. So I couldn't do that. And then she was because I tried it because like she would keep trying to like ask me the same questions and ask me to say it again and again and do it again. And what about this? And so then I gave her like the same answer 2 different ways one time, and every time I would do it, she would pick like the more like Banji fucking like round the way girl kind of way every single time. And I'm like, I mean, I might speak that way as just like in jest sometimes or like with a friend of mine or whatever, but like I don't feel like really getting across like who I fucking am as a person. Like,
yeah, that's not a good cultural sample of who you are.
I mean, everyone code switches, yeah, but like in the grand scheme, like I don't use like I don't do the occur thing. I don't use like just like played out like queer slang because it's just not how I speak, unless of course I'm like you doing it for like comedic emphasis or if it just really fits the moment. But it's like, don't try to like make me say shit when I'm not gonna say shit. Like let me just say what I'm gonna say.
So it's like they really don't, not trying to portray you as the person that you truly are. They just want you to kind of be a bit of a character.
A caricature. That's what I felt like. I felt they wanted me to be a caricature of a black drag queen. And I'm like, okay, first of all, that's cool. I get that you want that character on the show and that, it might have made me stick around longer, but if that's what I got to do to like stick around longer, I don't really want to be here anymore. I think I'm done. Like, like
I learned really quickly that Dax is contrary by nature. So if you ask her to do something, she's not going to do it.
I am a cat. And people think I'm joking. I'm not joking. I'm a cat. I'm contrary by nature. If you want me to do a thing, I'm not going to do it. If you want to like leave the room, I'm like, I got to stay for a while though. Like I'm just like.
So we have to tell you to stay so you can leave the room. Is that?
Yeah. Tell me that I
reverse psychology.
I was gonna say, no, like, don't leave. Don't
stay.
I mean, no, really, don't leave though. I mean, that's for.
I will go out of the way to find a reason to leave the room. But yeah, I am very much that, and I know it's, I guess maybe a problem. I mean, I don't know for who, but not me. But yes, I mean, either way, not to like dog on Drag Race like I will often do in person. So please find me at a convention, buy me a drink. I'll tell you all the information. It's fine. But like, I mean, I've told girls ever since, like when I meet them that like, really want to be on the show. It's like, you have to really want to be on the show. Like you have to know going into it, like, don't think it's going to be like, you're going to go and it's going to change your life immediately. There's going to be subreddits. There's going to be angry fans in the comments. There's going to be Twitters. There's going to be memes. People are going to ask you about your ass pads for the next 6 years. Oh. Because they have. It just recently stopped. like and it's only because of COVID. I'm just saying. Like, So I mean, like people, I never did not think about like the negative spring back to just being on a televised show. I didn't think I mean I knew like it would happen or like it could happen, but I didn't think about like the weird pettiness. People will just follow you because they want to shade you. So even though your
That's
follower
so
count is up,
strange.
people will go out of their way to
It
leave
really
like,
is, yeah.
comments for no fucking reason. Like who has that kind of time?
I
Troll to
mean,
be a troll.
trolls.
Like,
Exactly what you just said.
no.
Asani. Were you and Demanda, were you guys friends at the time? When you
No.
were on drag? Okay, so
No,
my
that was
a follow-up question was going to be, how did you survive without Demanda?
pretty easily.
Oh, you're terrible.
Oh
I'm the
my
worst.
God, look at that.
You're my
Salty.
worst and best friend.
Same, literal same.
So do you guys have the official moniker of best friends? Is
I
that
mean, it comes out when we're drunk more than anything else. Like when we're drunk, it's like you're my best friend, you're my best friend, and then we start crying. It's a whole thing.
And then we start crying, and then we yell at each other for no reason.
We'll cry, we'll fight, or we'll both. Like,
Yeah.
who knows what happens? I
And,
mean,
and then I have lost footage of a number that I was supposed to film.
look. I thought you did great, but I was not the one to judge that. So
hold up. I'm sorry. Lost footage of Miss Amanda Martini.
No, so what happened? So when I am gonna like film a number or like do something, I typically don't drink. Like I'm just not someone who drinks when I'm about to perform.
Mhm.
And like I literally got into drag. And Dax was like, okay, I'm going to stay one more night so I can help you film this number. And I'm like, oh, that would be so much fun to like hang out some more. Yay. And so then we started drinking, which was fun and it was fine. But it's one of those things where it's like when you don't drink all day or like for a long time and then you like start really late, you then just want to play catch up.
Yeah.
And so then it just like sort of like.
I don't know if that's what was happening. I think in that instance at least, it was more like because like you were painting and I was like watching. I think we were watching Blossom at the time, and like
anything with Joey Lawrence.
We spent a whole day watching Blossom on Hulu because we were like,
don't know about the future. Sorry,
yeah, we had to. And yeah, so I think that like it's like because like we were doing shots while you were painting because normally like if I'm going to like drink when I'm about to perform like or do a video or whatever, it's usually like I don't until like I'm either fully in the look and I'm like, okay, just one before I start shooting, and then like I'll do like 18 takes and then be like, okay, one more, and then when I'm done, I'm like, now we can just like get out of this drag and like get drunk. Like let's do that.
Yeah. And again, I just made some bad choices. So the videos that were filmed, I had to redo, which is fine. But like it was so funny. So like, my lip sync was so off. It was really bad. Like my eyes are like doing this at some point. And then at one point, either I hit the camera or Dax hit the camera, and like you can just see like my TV watching Blossom while I'm doing this. I was like, no, this is. Yeah, I gotta redo this whole thing.
Delete, remove from cloud. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, like visual drag, especially like during COVID, doing drag all on your own in your own home by yourself, is the least fun way to do drag of all the ways to do drag. Like. Just by yourself with like your phone on a tripod, doing the same song over and over and over again, so you can make sure you have like coverage for your video you're making. Just like getting into it and then being by yourself and just like lip syncing to a phone is not like, really super enjoyable.
Like drag is meant to like be seen and like
be social,
like go out and go do the thing, and so it's so weird. But so like when COVID first started, and I was just like, do you know what? I'm gonna do like a one look a week, and I, just to like, stay fresh and
yeah.
And it was so weird to be like, take pictures and then be like, well, guess I'm gonna get out of this.
Yeah.
It's so weird because I'm an auctioneer and I love to feed off the crowd when I'm at a gala. And then I just started doing virtual gigs, and it's exactly what you guys just said. Yeah. You sit down in front of your phone, you do it, you're not feeding off of anything, and then you're like, I guess I'm done now. Yeah. I'll just go take a bath. And I think a lot of people forget it's about the community and reacting with the crowd and being very like facing to the public. But Demanda, I want to ask you a question because one of the things that drew me to you initially were your videos. And oh my God, your Bewitched Wanda video, and even the Dazzler one you just did now.
Oh my God.
I know what you guys, I'm listening to what both of you have just said about drag, being more visible and doing it from your iPhone isn't as ceremonious, but you do it so well, Demanda.
So
what is your process for that?
I give, so like the creative part, what it is that I want to do is my idea. Mm-hmm. However, I have an amazing group of friends that help me. So Jason and Erica Klankowski, so Ben and I move our cars out of the garage, and they set up a whole green or blue screen studio.
I love that you have a garage.
Yeah, in the garage.
I'm in New York. We don't got a garage here.
And I mean, we spend all day filming. For the Dazzler video, we had to do 2 days because of the multiple looks that I did and like the having to change makeup and all of that stuff. But I mean, I'm very, very, very fortunate that Jason and Erica do that, and then Jason is then the one who does like the special effects and editing and all of that stuff. But I mean, and the thing is, it's like you can look through my videos. Like at the beginning, it was like, okay, I'm just gonna sing a song, because my drag really started taking off when I started hosting my cabaret, Eleanor's Studio Cabaret, because I'm a theater major, and so it's like I started like singing, so I was like, oh, well, I'll just sing a song or whatever, and then it's like, oh, and now we can there's this whole thing about like digital drag, so it's like, oh, it's like making a music video. So the first like music video that I made was Giganta to Julie Brown's Big and Stupid, which is still one of my favorites.
It's my favorite one too.
Like, I mean, Julie Brown liked it.
We're good here.
That's legendary. That is fucking legendary.
And it was before I was like, oh, we should do like green screen or blue screen or whatever. So we went to my parents' house and filmed outside at the pool in front of like their trees or whatever. My favorite part about filming that though. So no, two things was, number one, I had my niece help me. For those of you who follow me, you see my niece. We did a Phoenix photo shoot last year for Halloween.
That.
She was the one who held the action figures that I was fighting as Giganta, which is so cute and so lovely. But also, if you could pan out just a little bit from where I was dancing on the tree line, you would see my dad mowing the fucking lawn, because even though I reminded him several times, Dad, we're coming over to film this video. This time we're doing it. Well, this is a good time to mow the lawn.
You're like, Dad, what are you doing mowing the lawn?
There's literally one time he was coming directly at me, and my mom literally went, "What are you doing?" Can you not see the 6-foot-tall drag queen in our front lawn dancing?
Oh, Dad, you're messing up. God.
Dad, why, Dad?
And it's like, and I couldn't hear the music because he's
mowing. Well, I was going to ask about sound editing for that.
Yeah. Well, because it's a music video, you just put
you just sync it up.
Oh, okay. I don't know how that works. But, okay.
Well, yeah. I will say that, a lot of us have had to learn a lot of different new softwares since COVID happened, which has been great, but also fully annoying. Because all my videos, I generally will edit myself. Jason and Erica did one video for me. It's a collaboration we did. We had a Good Place video where I was Tahani, because hello, and Demanda was my Eleanor, which was delightful.
So much fun.
And they did that editing for us for that one, and it was a really fun shoot. I will say that having people there with you while you do it makes it so much easier. Just so much, not even just because they're looking at the camera and they're telling you where to be and how the shots lined up or whatever, but just having a face to be able to be oh, so this is working. Got it. Okay, cool. Because otherwise it's just am I getting it?
Yeah.
am I doing it? I don't know.
Did it happen?
Yeah,
because that's the other thing too. When I film stuff by myself, it's well, I don't want to watch this right now because I'm still in fucking drag. So I can't sit and focus. Did I get the shot? It's let me just do it 800 more times.
Yeah.
And then hope that, when I actually go through all the footage that I did the thing that I'm supposed to do. Whereas having someone else there, is like, oh no, we got it. We we did the thing.
Exactly, because see, when I do it, it's like I'll stop after I do a few takes in a row. I'll stop and I'll go have a sit and I'll refill my drink or whatever, or just take a break, and I'll rewatch back all the playback, and I'll know if I'm on the right track or not. And then I'll still do 25 more takes anyway, just to make sure I got the coverage, just because I'm me. Or I might change the camera angle, which is super fun to do when you're using a 6 foot tall ring light tripod in a corset and dressing a giant cat. And there's no one who can and then it falls over and you're like, well, now I got to pick this up.
Yep.
How do I bend over? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And wearing nails and hair and lip gloss, which we both gotten into during COVID.
Which I almost put it on tonight and I was like, no, girl, you're wearing white hair. Don't do it. It's a trap.
So it's so funny doing these at-home studios has been so challenging, and I don't know if a lot of people at home ever really fully realize the work that goes into it, because
I don't think they do.
When I'm
I don't think
auctioning,
they do.
I put Post-its everywhere just for my script in lieu of keeping it, because you don't want your eyes to look like
You don't want to go
auctioning.
down.
You don't want to go down. So I keep the Post-its there, and I have my husband switching out Post-its and everything. And then the ring light falls, and then there's internet delays, everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrific.
Yeah. I mean, I tried getting into streaming just because I was like, I'm already doing all this film stuff anyway. I might as well, get to streaming. My whole plan was that I would stream and draw, and that would be my whole stream, because that way I'm, number one, drawing more, which is important to do. And number two, I'm making content. That was, I mean, I did it a couple times and it was fine. It just wasn't any fun because I'm just busy worried about setting everything up and making sure I can be heard. And then, I'm all the technical aspect of it. I have friends that do streams all the time, but they usually have somebody else running all the tech stuff off camera. And I'm like, that would make a crazy world of difference. But
that costs money though.
Or just having a bored roommate would be nice. My cats are of no help whatsoever. So,
I do a weekly stream with Jay Justice, and we have had 0 streams without gigantic technical difficulties.
Yeah,
because Jay is the one who runs all of the tech stuff. All I do is I show up on a Zoom call, ready to go. But I had to, I had to download a certain program. I had to do this and that to, my Zoom profile. I needed to get an external camera so that way I could do the overhead while I'm drawing and stuff. And the thing is, it's fun and there's no pressure for us to do it. So if one of us isn't feeling it or whatever's going on, so usually we'll text each other during the day, usually at noon, and then 3 o'clock, be like, hey, what do you have going on? Are you okay? Are you ready to go? And then there was one time, it was a few weeks ago, I was literally painting on my eyebrows, and Jay messaged me. She's like, so, and I was like, okay, she's canceling. She's like, are you gonna be mad because you're already in drag? I'm like, no, girl, I got the spreadsheet. I got 4 TikToks to do. I can still take pictures. I'm like, I could go, live on my Instagram, for a while or whatever. Yeah. It's if I'm already in the middle of process of drag, I'm still going to do it, and I'm going to just figure out something else to do.
We're not going to take it off halfway through. It's no. I mean, for me, it's I don't do well with the no pressure. I like deadlines. I like the stress of it. I like having but I can't do deadlines that I set myself. It's got to be someone else that I'm gonna let down or piss off if I don't do it, because if it's me, who's gonna punish me?
Yeah.
What about oh no, oh you didn't. I mean, I might have malaise later, but that's normal. I'm depressed. It's fine. So it's a regular Tuesday then. Cool.
Yeah.
That's my problem with streaming, is that I just can't number one, it's just a lot of other effort to go forward with. Mm-hmm. Number two, I'm not one of those girls who can just be okay with being on camera after not having done anything to my face. The idea of even not being in drag and showing up on camera without wearing a tinted moisturizer at least. I'm like, I could never.
What's your favorite tinted moisturizer?
Honestly,
sidebar.
Honestly, it's a Black Radiance BB cream.
Okay.
Yeah. They're cheap, they're accessible, but for some reason I love the coverage. It's sheer enough to the point where it's still coverage without being coverage. The colors are all warm and rich. Yeah.
Okay. Demanda?
Oh, I don't wear makeup.
Askani'son. Because you wear so much makeup, Askani.
I can tell.
Actually, I'm wearing some right now. So gotta hide those blemishes. Actually, Demand, I had a question for you because I think I have watched your Dazzler video probably like 20 more plus times. Is there a possibility that maybe we can have a Jean versus Madeline kind of music video episode?
So Dax and I have talked about doing a Jean Maddie before, and I keep debating in my head whether or not I want Dax and I to do it, so that way it's like Jean and Madeline, or if it's like I want to do
both
like
parts.
Yeah, or like do both parts, so that way it's like they are clones of each other.
Yeah.
Because so I have Phoenix, and I have like this like random kind of Jean-ish inspired look kind of a thing, and then I have the Maddie look. I've thought about it. It's one of those things because I for now I'm relying on friends to like edit videos and stuff. It's like, okay, I can't do it like every week and like do like a new thing. It needs to be like planned out and have a thing. So and I already have my next video planned already. So it is on my spreadsheet. It's just a TBD underneath all of the things that are due.
Well, you got to move that up on the spreadsheet because you got two crazy Jean stands here who
know
want to
that.
see you
You
both
know that.
do that.
I know, but like I have, so like we have other plans already.
Okay.
We have Chipettes coming up.
Stop it! Who's Janet?
Oh, that's our friend Les, Mister.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
From
Okay.
Charlotte.
And who's Bridget?
Brittany.
Oh, Brittany.
You're welcome.
And then
Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah,
that looks so exciting.
That's our next plan. Also,
I
I'm
can't
doing
wait for
a
that.
piggy number as well.
Yeah.
That's also on the list.
And then my next video for Erica and Jason is because we're putting all of this effort into Cerise. She needs to have a goddamn music video. So yeah.
Can I ask a really general question? Because this is something that, Demando, you and I have spoken about at length, and it still hasn't really stuck in my head. What is the difference between drag and cosplaying?
Nothing.
There's none.
Nothing.
A lot of effort. You spend too much money. You get attention, but not enough. People like it, but But I mean, I don't know. It's fun. It can be a job, but isn't always a job.
Yeah. I mean, as far as like the idea behind it, I mean, to me, and it kind of what I said before when you asked me is, so with drag, it doesn't necessarily need to be a character. It can just be, yourself as your drag persona, like whatever. Whereas like cosplay, it's like you're doing a specific character and there is a specific reference that you're making. That to me is like the only major difference. However, the difference between being a cosplayer and a drag queen or drag performer who does cosplay is a lot of makeup, a lot of time, a lot of corsetry and padding, and we also do stuff with our friends, the Shady Squad, who are a group of cosplayers, and they're like, "Hey guys, let's do a photo shoot on a Saturday at 10 a.m." And we're like.
I will be in bed, ma'am.
Number one, we'll be in bed. Number two, so we have to drive an hour, which means that we have to wake up 4 hours before 9 a.m.
Demanda lives an hour from me, and then usually when that group meets up, it's out in like Baltimore, which is about like maybe 45 minutes to an hour from where I live. So usually, what'll happen is Demanda will pick me up, and then we'll go from my place to wherever the shoot's going to happen. Yeah. So I mean, like Demanda will be like, she will wake up at 3 a.m. and be like painting on eyebrows, but that's because Demanda's a good person.
So the first one that we went to, we try to get ready together. No, I think like the first two, we try to like get ready together.
Because that's Megan Rogan. Yeah.
But we just realized that we just distract each other.
That early in the morning,
yeah. So what we do now when we do like photo shoots like that is I paint at my house. Dax is getting ready at her time, so that way by the time that I arrive at Dax's house, we can then get dressed together and then go to the photo shoot. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait, geographically, I think all three of you are close to each other. I think I'm in New York. I don't know how it all works out. Like,
So,
Mike, where are you?
I'm at the bottom of the Beltway. Dax
Okay.
is like at the top of the Beltway.
Okay.
And then you're in Baltimore, right, Mike?
No, so I live in Kent County, so I'm across the Bay Bridge area, the Chesapeake.
Oh, you're
so-
in like the Annapolis area.
Yeah, I'm about.
I don't know what that
maybe
means.
50 minutes from Annapolis. Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm not that far. I actually went to art school in DC.
Oh, nice. Okay.
For a while. It's a regret, but it was okay.
I mean, art school is many things.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't even exist anymore. They shut that down.
Oh.
So wait, we're all going to DC to get drunk. How long will it take each of you to get to DC?
long ass time.
30 minutes from me. Well,
30 minutes.
more like 23-ish, depending on what part of town we go to. More like 20, 23-ish.
It
Okay.
would take me about like an hour and some change. Not too
Okay.
long.
Same,
But, like-
depending on what time it is. But also more than likely, I'm going to be picking up Dax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to take an
Ubers
Amtrak.
Ubers out here are insane. Like,
Yeah.
I don't live that far from DC, but like I don't really go out in DC very much because getting a ride from like where I live to DC, it's gonna be like $60 each way in an Uber, and I'm like, that's not okay for me. And I'm not gonna drive myself with the intention of going out to actually drink in a bar.
And-
Like, I'm
and-
not
and
doing
the
that.
community-
Like,
Right.
So, like, from where I live, people are like, oh, you could do the metro. I'm like, well, it takes me 45 minutes.
first
to
of
get
all,
to the
I would
metro.
never. So there's
First of all,
that.
no. It's like, I take 45 minutes to get to the metro to take a 30 to 45 minute metro ride in when I could just drive an hour and 15 minutes and be in the city and be able to not worry about getting on the train by 1
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's just, I mean, like, I don't know, like, I'm from Atlanta, you know, well, not originally from Atlanta, but like I live in Atlanta for the most part, and so like I'm just used to like everything being like if you're in your car for more than 10 minutes, you've gone too far. Like, give up.
Yes.
Whereas like, and then I moved here, and I'm like, oh, so y'all just drive, like, y'all just like are cool with just like, oh, it's only an hour away, that's close. I'm like, no. No. Like, that's not
I agree with you, Dax. I'm from Florida, and like anything more than 10 minutes, I'm like, that's not close at all.
Yeah,
Like,
if it's too far, you're dead. I can't help you. I don't know. Like,
Growing up down here, so like now I live in town, but like growing up, it took us 10 minutes just to go to the grocery store. So like, and then a half an hour to get to the mall, and then 45 minutes to get to the good mall. So like me, yeah. So like for me,
all with
road
the
trip.
Dillards.
It's like a four. Girl, it was Steinmart, but it was a good Steinmart, so it's fine.
but then when I went to college in Utah, where I was living in northern Utah, anything that you wanted to do was in Salt Lake City, which was 2 hours away. So like, hey everybody, pile in the car, let's go.
Yeah, because see, I went to school in Savannah, and so I was used to being in Savannah for a very long time, and then I moved back to Atlanta, and then I moved to Dallas, Texas for a while, and people in Texas were the first ones for me to be like, oh, it's close, it's 15 minutes away, and I'm like, 15 minutes is not close. Like, what do you mean? That's not like that's like a long trip. That's like 30 minutes in the car round trip. That's too many minutes in the car. Like, I'm not doing that. And then I got here, and like I have friends that live like out in like Triangle, Virginia, and they're like cool to like go to DC every weekend. They're like, I'll come pick you up, girl. And I'm like, that's a 3-hour drive, man.
Oh,
like
Jesus.
that's
Oh my
that's a
God.
literal road trip, and you're just
Yeah.
like, it's Friday night. What else am I
Y'all
doing?
casual
I'm like,
about it?
literally anything else. Like,
No, I will tell you, the metro down in DC can be pretty sketchy. I remember I was hanging out, this is some years ago, I was hanging out with a friend of mine, and I was coming back, it was, probably like a little after 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it was like me and maybe like 4 other guys, and they were literally comparing, their bullet wounds. Oh yeah, I got this here, and I got shot there, and I'm sitting there just kind of like,
I mean,
pretending to be
that's
asleep.
wrong.
I don't know why I'm so turned on right now. That is the hottest story I've heard about the metro.
It's like, how big is that hole, man?
I need a sip after that
Gotta
one.
go.
I'm hearing something. What?
Typhoon.
I don't know. I think I took the metro once because I had a pretty meek travel budget for a gig I had to do in DC, and I thought it was pleasant. But I took it at like 9 a.m. with like all the commuters.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I remember it having carpet on it, but I'm pretty sure that's my memory lying to me.
I mean, I also, so
it was like homey. It was like a Pier 1.
I mean, well, like, look, compared to like New York's whole train system, it is a lot more homey. a lot more cozy. You feel safe-ish. But it's not ideal. I mean, like I took Metro a lot when I was working in Georgetown for a while, and I hated it. I just hated it every day. I just hated it. I hated the walking. I hated the getting there. I hated the being on the train part. I hated the getting off the train part. I'm not a public transit kind of girl.
The weekends are always awful because they always have some kind of work on the and you had to wait like 25, 30 minutes just for the Metro to come your way, and you're like, oh my
sounds
God.
like a Tuesday night for me. I always get drunk in the city, always miss the subway, and I always have to end up like passing out on like the subway platform and waiting for the next train. Like the worst was waiting for the ghost train in 2007. Like there was no ghost train. The G train, sorry.
Oh, so you'd be like,
I don't just who like who?
There was no Uber back then. You had nothing to call.
I was in 2007. I remember the year. I wish I did. But like I just like the idea of like falling asleep on a train platform.
It's
and
fine.
Like,
it's not terrible.
And then surviving it. I'm like,
well, this one time, after like a really bad bender, I woke up snuggling with a homeless person, and it was actually really cute. This is pre-COVID. Don't worry about it. It was pre-COVID.
I mean, look,
no, it was just last month.
Oh my God.
Friends are friends are friends. There's, who knows where you meet a friend? They just happen sometimes. It's fine. So the terror of being alone at like 3 a.m. on a subway platform by myself is just like it's too real.
No,
for me.
I loved it. Like you see the best of humanity at 3 a.m. on the platform. Like really. But anyways, we digress.
We went way off course.
He was pulling a Frank Gallagher from Shameless. Did you wake up with some dollar bills next to you?
Only God I wish. No one's paying for this.
Bless his heart.
I only accept debit or credit. Let's I'm going to throw it to you for our next question.
Okay, so let's get a little deep here right now.
Okay. About bullet.
Wow, here I am trying to have a serious moment, and then you're just gonna take it there.
I'm not. I'm looking at Demanda's face. I mean,
what do they do?
Like, okay, here we go. Legs up. So with
what you're talking about, I would never.
So, question that I had for both of you now is with the current state of where we are, in our country, just, you hear these news stories about, the hate that certain, groups are getting, all the time. Do you feel like now is really more important to really be who you are, you be your true self, for the both of you as drag queens, stand out and say, hey, this is who I am. This is where we are. The world should be evolving, progressing, and we're here to show that, and we're not going anywhere.
I mean, I think that no matter what the world is doing, it's always going to be something stupid. Like, just the world in general is... I expect the worst of people, just as a pessimist. So, I mean, I feel like just, being yourself, being true to who you are, and expressing yourself how you need to express yourself is always super important. Not living in fear is super important as well. I mean, like, when I first started doing drag, it was well before when drag was a thing. So not everyone was doing drag. Like I would, I'd be the only person, in the room pretty much who's in like heels and a full face of makeup and like whatever. So I mean, like, I never really lived my life afraid of standing out or being different. So I don't really understand. I mean, I understand why people would have obviously reservations for standing out too much. But for me specifically, I just couldn't fathom not being who I was. Mm-hmm. I mean, as far as like, the hatred that's been, going around lately and the racism towards Asian people and specifically, it blows my fucking mind. It's 2021. Like, what
Why are we doing this?
Especially like the fact that like attacks are happening targeted towards like elderly Asian women specifically. I'm like, first of all, motherfucker, if you're gonna go and pick a fight with someone on the street, you pick someone's grandma. Really? That's who you choose. Like, how do you live your life with that mentality that you're like, this is what I'm gonna do today? Like, how? I can't even fathom like that being the first go-to for like just. I can't. It doesn't make any sense to me, and it makes me really furious that like it's even happening because it shouldn't be happening to begin with. But I can't fathom like the mentality behind someone to even attack someone just for being different. I don't even get that mentality. Like I can't even like relate to it I can't humanize it. I can't relate to it. I don't understand it. Like,
at
all.
I saw that footage, and it was just absolutely heartbreaking and just so cowardly of someone to even
completely
do that at all.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, no balls whatsoever. Just
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that, like, I mean, no matter what time of day or year or month it is, standing up and being visible and being seen and being yourself is always important to do for anybody. I definitely feel that, like, drag is an expression and also a form of armor for a lot of people, for a lot of queens especially, because I mean, like, there's a thing called drag privilege, and I know I have it. I know Amanda has it, because no one's gonna tell me shit. It's like, I mean, I've probably done a lot of things in drag that were possibly dangerous, but I was fine. Like, because I'm a 9 foot tall woman with giant hair. Like,
what do you mean about doing? I'm sorry, I'm
I mean,
so emotional with this conversation right now because it's so beautiful. But what?
Especially like
elucidate that.
Especially like being young and being in drag and feeling invincible and especially when you're feeling your look and you're out somewhere, like, you'll end up at after parties, you'll end up at, like, clubs you shouldn't have been at, you'll end up, like, hanging out on the streets till 5 a.m. with random people you just met, like, you'll end up in places where, like, if you were at any other point in your life, or if it was like if you weren't in drag right now, would you have gone to this party? Like, probably not. Just like sketchy people and, like, just nightlife in general, like working in nightlife in general, you're always going to be introduced, or at least, like, you're going to be in the presence of people that are less than desirable people to be around. It's just going to happen sometimes, I mean, like, I was at Mary's in Atlanta, and we did a drag race viewing party. This was years ago. A drag race viewing party, and we were out on the porch after the bar was closing down, and people were talking and hanging out, and then people started, like, filtering out one by one, and two guys who were on the the back deck of Mary's, like, making out heavily, and I was like, hey girls, maybe not have sex here because there's cameras all around you, and also maybe not do that today. Like, maybe not maybe not. We're in public. Go somewhere else. And they're like, you're right, that's a good idea. And so, of course, they left, and I was like, cool, that's over. And then I'm like, got my purse, and I'm like, like saying goodbye to people, and, like, going back towards my car. And then they both come limping back up the parking lot, bleeding, because they both just got shot.
oh my god!
Oh my god!
So they come to the back porch of Mary's. Well, no, sorry, only one of them got shot. The other one was, of course, crying hysterically because so, of course, I go into, like, like unregistered nurse mode and mom mode, and I'm like, and I rip my shirt off and I make it into a tourniquet, and I'm holding, putting pressure on the wound, and I'm like, is your leg burning? Do you feel any kind of, like, burning sensation? He's like, well, it hurts. I'm like, yeah, you just got shot, so of course it hurts, but do you feel like a burning? And he's like, no, I'm fine. I'm like, cool, that means the bullet's probably not still lodged in there. That's helpful. And so, I had the bar staff, like, bring towels, and then people were calling 911, and, like, queens of mine that were with me were like like sobbing. I was like, girl, not right now. We're waiting for the ambulance first, and then when that's done, then you can cry. It's okay. So, I mean, like, that kind of shit. Like, injuries happen, crises happen, those kind of things happen, and, like, had I not been a drag queen, would I have been there at the time? No, right. I would not have been there at the time. I mean, luckily, it all worked out in the end. The guy that got shot was fully recovered. Everything turned out fine. No other issues in that. But, like, I also found out later that, of course, the story he told me of how he got shot was not the actual story of how he got shot. But whatever, he still got shot. Either way, I'm just saying, it's like when you work in nightlife and when you are a drag performer and you just find yourself in, like, weird situations, it's gonna happen because that's what nightlife is. Nightlife can be awesome and can be amazing, but it can also be not where you really want to be sometimes. So
yeah,
it's one of those things.
Amanda?
I mean, so to kind of add on to that. So there's a quote that I really love by Joan Crawford that I have tattooed on my body.
Oh, I love this quote.
And it says, if I can't be me, I don't want to be anybody. I was born that way. And so, as a queer child, like, I spent most of my life being told that I was different. Not that I felt like I was weird or different or whatever, but always being told that I didn't fit in or whatever. So, and then you try to, like, conform, and, like, I'm still mad And, I'm so mad at myself for like quitting
Trying
dance
to do that.
classes and being more like introverted and not being like, whatever, because obviously that turned into, a lot of emotional problems that I'm dealing with now. And but so to me now, like, it's very important that I am loud and vocal, and I am, the clacking fan drag queen being like, yes, I am here, yes, I am taking up space. And it's one of the reasons that I like going to conventions and being on not queer panels, and specifically comic or like movie panels where it's not like inherently like a queer thing, for me to be like, I am a queer person. I'm still speaking from a queer experience, but I'm letting everyone know like what this is, because it should be normal that people from wherever get to, like express their opinion. There was a panel I was on at, it was Balticon, I believe, a few years ago. That was, it was about the comics boom of the 90s, and then when it popped and everything kind of crumbled. It was a very interesting panel. And it was mostly full of like these older white dudes who obviously like worked in the industry. Either they owned comic shops or they worked at publishing houses or all this stuff, who were in the audience. So like they all had stuff to say. And I made sure that for myself, because I was the only female presenting person in that room. So like that was kind of intimidating. And also that was when I had a broken foot. So it's on a scooter as well.
Which was super fun. Yeah, that's a whole different story. It's a whole different.
Wait, you're talking about the scooter that like you just have to like
like so, like you kneel on it and like
you kneel on. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was trying to find the words
and
there.
So I'm dressed as Betty Cooper with my ponytail and my pink sweater and with my bright pink lipstick on, and like these dudes are talking about comics, and so like I made sure that like I came in with like my experience, because I'm like, I am also a guest. You all are
watching.
Like, I'm a panelist. Like I was asked to be here to speak on this topic, so I made sure that like they understood that I still know what I'm talking about, and that I still, because I get talked over way more when I'm in drag than I am otherwise, because people do that to people who are female presenting, which is extremely frustrating. But yeah, so like being, I think it is important that we are vocal and that we are, making sure that people, that people know who we are and that we are visible. And also that because we are visible, that we also then I shouldn't say speak for, but we make sure to use our platform to be like, and look over here, this over here is also fucking bullshit. And so go, so go to like this person's stuff to like listen to like their point of view or whatever. Yeah. So also Dax mentioned earlier, like drag privilege. So like to lighten things up a little bit, one of my favorite things that we ever did is, so we were at Dragon Con and we were dressed as the River Vixen. Yeah, okay. Yes. So we were dressed as the River Vixens.
Betty, Veronica, that's who we are. People.
And we were trying to get into like, because like Dragon Con, it's all over the place. Yeah. But like we wanted to go to the sales floor because number one, we wanted to see Karen Ashley, who is very lovely. If you haven't met her, she is literally one of the nicest people that you could talk to. Yeah. And we also want to go to the art table to go see Tom.
And Samantha Newark, had to say hi to her.
Yeah, so, Newark.
Yeah. So we had things to do, is all I'm saying.
They got an agenda.
And so like we're walking up to like the line, and it's like wrapped around the building outside.
To get into like the dealer's area Dragon Con, which is like a whole 4-floor building. Like it's a whole
it's a whole thing. Like where the line begins and where it ends, it's just this line of people just wrapped around the building. So literally Dax clapped her fan. We saw a door. She clapped her fan. People parted the seats.
I point with it.
Like there's a lady who's working there. She opened the door for us. We were like, yeah, we just need to go inside to the dealers. We're just like, hey, just take the elevator right up. Like, not who are you? Where are you going? This is not the way in. No. But who's going to question two gorgeous drag queens?
Gigantic ladies in matching outfits, walking with a purpose.
We had a purpose. We obviously had somewhere to go. So it seemed like we were super official. But no, we were just like everybody else. We were just like, how come no one else?
I did have my guest badge, but like,
Well,
whatever.
They didn't even look at our badges.
They didn't at all. They really didn't look at our badges at all because we just like, I was like, we're walking now.
We're going in the store. I see one.
So,
yeah, I'm a terrible person, but it's also fun, so that's fine.
so Amanda, I gotta say, I was kind of hoping your tattoo would have said, "Don't fuck with me, boys. This ain't my first rodeo."
That's not a real quote by Joan Crawford. That is written for the movie, which is still one of my favorite films.
Mm-hmm.
No, so the rest of the quote by Joan Crawford. So Joan Crawford got a lot of shit for always appearing in public in like full face, full hair, full like full gowns,
like full drag.
Yeah, like literally, like she was a drag queen, and so she said, well, if I can't be myself, I don't want to be anybody. I was born that way. If you want the girl next door, then go next door.
Yeah.
Like it's like if you want something else, then go somewhere else. But she was like, when people see her in public, she was like, they expect to see Joan Crawford, the movie star. So she's not going to give them Joan Crawford, housewife at the grocery store. She's like, no, look at this movie star buying her own groceries.
Just like all of us. Yeah.
She's
that
just
was
like
the whole
us.
thing. I mean, like she was all about like building her brand and like living as the brand like that. She was one of the first to really do that, you know.
So the tattoo that I have, it's written in her handwriting because her brand was sending thank you notes. She did handwritten thank you notes to every single person who like sent her anything or did anything for her. And so there's tons of samples of her handwriting out there. And so I went to a tattoo artist who was also extremely attractive. I do follow him on Instagram. And so I'm like, oh, I need to pull down my pants in front of you. Oh
my God, I hate that.
Don't prick me right now.
Yeah. So, like, here you go.
Having this extremely attractive man tattooing my hip. And I'm just like, hi.
You're like Joan Crawford.
Yeah.
I'm not the girl next door.
I'm
the girl from the back door. Let me ask you guys about what looks you guys have coming up, especially if your cons are returning safely. What looks are you excited to debut?
Well, obviously, Amanda's mentioned Cerise a lot, so that's number one on the list. I've had Feral on my list for a very long time, so I finally am working on my Feral to debut at BlurredCon this year, which I'm gonna die in. It's gonna be terrible to wear.
It's gonna be 100 degrees, and I'm
gonna be the worst.
And I'm finishing Boomer. I'm getting the
shoulder pads
made,
and of course the chin strap.
Yeah, and I need the chin strap because her jaw was broken.
Yeah, we're doing the whole thing. We're making the whole
I can't wait. We have to go. We have to go. We have to see them.
That hair, I have no clue I'm going to do it yet. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a feat of wigmetry, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Hair.
I mean, same thing with Cerise. Like, I still don't know how we're going to do it.
I mean, I have an idea, but I'm not sure it's going to work.
Yeah. Well, again, I got the base wig in. We will
go from there.
Yeah, figure it out. But so like I'm excited about all of the looks that like we've been making throughout all this, like actually having them in person somewhere. I really want like a lot of like the Zentais that I did. So, I want to do magic, I want to do tarot, I want to do vertigo, so I can wear a sensible con wedge.
Sensible wedges, sensible wedges. I think I'm more excited about wearing the costumes that I put together during COVID, but wearing them in person in public. I'm really excited about us wearing costumes together.
Yes, because the whole reason we have the spreadsheet is that we have matching looks.
I'm pretty sure that like for BlurredCon we have matching looks for every day already. Yep. And I mentioned BlurredCon a lot because it's the first con that's back on the list. It's the first con that I've re-signed, so now I'm officially going to be there. So that is exciting because it's been so long since we had a convention in public. I'm obviously still am wary about COVID existing just in general, but I know by July I'll be vaccinated and she'll be vaccinated, and so that's half the worry right there. But also it's just been so long. Like it's just been such a long time since we've had like an in-person convention. So I know it's gonna be a messy convention. People are gonna go crazy.
I can't, and it's July 16th through the 18th. Right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, July 16th through the 18th. And so it's going to be, and so it's already a party convention anyway. It's already a 24-hour convention with parties and DJs and lights and stuff and things. But then add that onto like the first one after COVID, when it's finally safe enough to go to a convention and be an idiot. Like, someone's going to get hurt. Like, I mean, it'll be us with our hangovers the next day. Every day. Yes, with a 4-day hangover.
Yeah, I feel like I should take off like that next week.
You really should. Just to like recoup and just like not move. Let your bones reshape. Yeah.
Let your bones reshape.
For 4 days straight. We're not in practice anymore. Like usually a convention, like we'd be in a corset for like 4 days straight, and you're like, this is normal. This is what we do every month. It's fine.
Yeah.
Once the blood stops coming out of your mouth.
Yeah. Or other places. Yeah. but then like we would do it like like a convention, and then like a month off, and then another convention. So we do it all the time. But now it's been a whole year.
I know.
I haven't worn heels on my feet in like a year.
Oh my God.
I'm kind of nervous.
Your feet are gonna be so pissed.
I haven't worn heels for an extended period of time. Like it's like like in digital drag, it's like okay, throw on some heels for like a 2-minute
single shot. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because even when a few weeks ago I did that outdoor gig at Tallboy, like I wore heels all night, but it was like I was worried. I was like, oh my God, like stepping was so weird, and like anytime like I got on the sidewalk, I was like, I need someone to like hold my hand. When it's like, bitch, we used to just walk the streets of DC and Baltimore.
I have climbed fences in heels before. I've jumped off of shit in heels. Like what? Like I used to do nonsense in heels all the time, and now I'm like, those look too high. I don't know what to do. like what? Like what is going on?
Again, sensible con wedges in a Zentai.
All day, every day. Chunky heels. For everyone all around, just chunky heels. Stilettos are over. They're over now.
We're over it.
We're not doing it.
So we're going to transition to our top 5 worst X-Men, but we do have one final question that I'm going to kick to Askani.
So talking about cosplay and all the awesome costumes you put on and what you're getting ready to do that we're all looking forward to seeing, looking at myself and Dayspring here, what cosplay do you think we should do?
Like, do you guys want like a matching look?
I mean, whatever you think.
I mean, like who do you like? So I think that's like the first part of cosplay is like what character do you either relate to? What do you like a lot? Like,
so for me, I'm, I love Jean Grey. So.
Oh my God, yes. You can be Jean Grey, but spelled Gene.
Well, so you can do a gender bend, or you could do the Grey King, that Cerebro, that Cerebro guy. Yeah. But so like this sounds a little terrible, but like usually like dudes in wigs don't translate as well.
Okay, they do, but like the problem is that like the dudes don't always know how to wear a wig yet. Yeah, it's like I got this one wig, and now I'm gonna. Is it a hat? I feel like it's a hat. I don't know. Look, it's that.
I would totally dye my hair red. I've done it before a couple times. I would do it again.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that like the Zentai suits that you can kind of like buy readily made come in men's sizes, and they can come in different designs. So like I know one of the designs that I've seen some cosplayers have is like a sleeveless one where it's like but still like male bodied but sleeveless like that. So that's an option. There's also one that I've seen that has like it's the Phoenix suit, but also has like the 90s headgear.
Yeah. With the weird head sock that everyone wore for some reason. Mm-hmm. That'd be cute. I'd be into that.
But Dayspring, I feel like you have two choices.
Okay.
So you need to do either Nate Gray.
Yes.
Or you need to do Doug Ramsey.
I was gonna say Doug Ramsey. I was like. I was thinking that too. I love Doug Ramsey.
I love Doug Ramsey. I think I'm going to do that. I've been talking about that with Mr.
I have a training suit pattern. I can just send it to him.
Oh my God, I will take it.
Because the pattern that my training suit pattern that I have is actually like a male body pattern. It's just like pretty neutral. So
It's the one that I already have, right? The magic one.
No, we could do that one, or I mean, I'm thinking of like the standard like
the standing training.
Yeah, the standard one, or we could do the New Mutants one. Either way works.
I want him with his little jacket and his warlock arm and like a sword. You know,
Yeah.
I've talked about it with you, Demanda. I think casually, but
And
yeah,
you said you're gonna dye your hair too.
I'm bleaching, so I'm in a crisis. So I'm gonna bleach my hair next week. I just went to Bumble and they quoted me like $800 to do it. I was like, yes, here's my credit card. I'll put a down payment on that. I won't put a down payment on a house, but I'll do one at Bumble for my hair.
Oh, so. I thought you were going to say that, like you said, that's cute. And then went to Sally's around the corner. Sorry, you were in New York. You went to a Ricky's. You went to the good one. You went to the good Ricky's.
I don't even know where Ricky's is anymore. They've been closing down. I think there's one.
Ricky's.
I love Ricky's too. There used to be one in my neighborhood. It's gone. I think there was one. The one I used to go to a lot was the one on 14th, or not 14th. Excuse me, 12th and 6th, right there by like the Jonathan Adler store. I don't think it's there anymore. I think
it's really upsetting because I one of the best parts about going to New York is going to Ricky's. Just like. But like, I love any Ricky's of them so or all of them. Whenever you're walking, you go 2 more blocks, another Ricky's. Go 2 more blocks, another Ricky's. Ricky's.
No,